What's up guys, Time Jim here, and today I'll be doing a video pretty much discussing all the trade paperbacks and omnibuses that I have. This is going to kind of be a short video because I really don't have a lot as far as omnibuses, trade paperbacks, and hardcovers go. I don't have any omnibuses right now. I do plan on getting them some in the future. But I do have trade paperbacks and hardcovers. But like I said, this is going to be a short list because a short video because I don't have a lot of graphic novels and whatnot. But I do plan on expanding my library more and more all the time, pretty much every month from from now on. At least get something to expand my library. So yeah, like I said, as I said many different times, I'm gonna start off with Marvel because it's what I know, it's what I grew up with. You know, for those of you that are just tuning into this, see this video and have not subscribed to my channel, that's basically what it is. Why I'm gonna start off with Marvel, because it's what I know, it's what I grew up with. I've said this many times. So yeah, it's not that I don't like DC. I love DC. I'm going to show you. I'm going to have DC books in a little bit, but I'm going to start off with Marvel because it's I'm more familiar with Marvel books and stuff like that. So that's what we're going to start off with. So I'm not, I favor it more, and it's not to say that I don't like DC or any other ones, but it's just I'm more familiar with it and more comfortable with it. So yeah, so let's go ahead and get started. Like I said, it's a short list, so I'm sure you've seen many other videos around YouTube with a vast library of omnibuses and hardcovers and whatnot and stuff like that, and they just dwarf mine. But I just thought I'd do this video just because, and it's been a while since I did a video, and I thought maybe you guys might enjoy this. So yeah, right here is just a short pan of all of my, not all of them, but most of my Mighty Mugs and Transformer figures and, cool stuff. It's so awesome. And Spidey. Okay, so cool. Let's go and get started with the first bit of books that I have. Now, the reason why I'm collecting more trades and hardcovers and whatnot and stuff like that is for the simple fact that, or not just from the fact, there's two reasons why I'm doing it. One is because they're more cost effective. Getting them all in one shot like that, it just seems more cost effective. Not just because getting them all in once, you get all stuff like that. It's more bang for your buck, because sometimes you do get bonus issues inside with trades and hardcovers and whatnot. There's a bargain there. But two, it also saves on gas money when you have to travel to the comic store. It also time, and just pretty much the hassle you have to go through. Maybe the comic store doesn't have a certain issue, so you have to order it online and stuff like that and whatnot. Reservations for getting your stack and stuff like that, and space as well. It's just a real space saver. It saves space on getting long boxes and stuff like that. So this, to me, getting hardcovers and trades is just more convenient in all three of those phases. It also, why I see getting hardcovers and trades and omnibuses and stuff like that, it just looks nicer. I mean, when you get these books and stuff like that and display them like this, when someone comes into your room and sees this and be like, oh wow, that's pretty amazing and stuff like that, you read all this and you read all this and you just say, yeah, I read all this, and these are my recommendations right here and stuff like that. It makes you seem like a smarter collector and a more knowledgeable collector, in my opinion. So yeah, and more knowledgeable comic readers. So yeah, personally, that's why I'm personally collecting more of these, because it's all that stuff combined is seems like a better thing for me. I'll probably get individual issues here and there, like number ones and stuff like that, here and there. But for the most part, I'm sticking to this from now on. The only drawback I would say from getting hardcovers and omnibuses and trades and stuff like that is that you fall a bit behind in what the current standings are in certain in any universe, stuff like that, DCU, Marvel, Image, any of that stuff. But they come out more and more frequently. They're starting to come. I mean, right now, Original Sin just ended like a month ago, and they're going to come out with the entire collection next month, which is November. So, all in all, yeah, you're falling behind just a tad bit, but it's really, most of the time is really not that long. You don't really have to wait all that long for you to catch up and stuff like that, so to speak. So, yeah. So enough of my babble. Let's go ahead and get to this. So yeah. So first off is Marvel's The Infinity Gauntlet. Now, the reason why I'm starting off with this is because, by the way, most of this is in chronological order. From the oldest that I have to the most current that I have. To my knowledge, if you see some discrepancy, let me know in the comments below. But for pretty much the most part, I believe this is in chronological order. Yeah. Anyway, getting back to this, the Infinity Gauntlet. As everyone knows, if you've been watching Marvel movies, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, whatever, you're gonna hear about the Infinity Gauntlet. You're gonna hear about it from friends, from family, whatever like that. If you're just getting into the Marvel Universe, you're gonna hear about the story a lot. This is pretty much the essential story you need to pick up in order for you to get into Marvel Universe from the into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. This is the comic you want to read. This is the trade you want to read, and this is pretty much one of the definitive stories of all time. Whether you're Marvel or DCU, whatever. This is the staple of comic book right here. Comic book is one of the biggest stories ever written, one of the best stories ever written. So if you're looking to expand your knowledge into the Marvel movieverse, this is where you start. Jim Starlin's Infinity Gauntlet, great read. Now there's an omnibus of the Infinity Gauntlet, which is like somewhere around $75 to $90, I believe. In my opinion, you don't need to pick that up, because if you find the trade, get it, because it provides the story. It also has some other backup issues in there, or kind of fills in not necessarily holes, but sort of more detail as to what the Infinity Gauntlet was all about and stuff like that. Great stuff. Like I said, this is pretty much an essential. So if you find this, pick this up and read this, so that way you can get a better idea of where the Marvel Cinematic Universe is going. So yeah. Now the follow-up to Infinity Gauntlet is Infinity War. Like I said, it's a follow-up. You don't necessarily need to pick this up for the Marvel Cinematic Universe, for the MCU. I'm just going to call it MCU from now on, because it's such a mouthful. But yes, this is the sequel. This is also a very good read. Bit longer because, there's more story to it. There's also more backup issues in there. But this is good. This is great. Now, to complete the collection would be the Infinity Crusade, which I don't have. However, I am looking to get the volumes, because there's 2 volumes for that. Once I get those, I'll add them to complete my Infinity, quote-unquote, Infinity collection. So yeah, anything pretty much with Thanos, just you're going to see later on, I love, and I'm hoping to get more of, so yeah. Good stuff. The next one is Silver Surfer Requiem. Great JMS story right here. If you're into tearjerker type of stories, this is it right here. Fantastic read. Get your tissues out because it's kind of a sad story, but great JMS story. Great J. Michael Straczynski story. Good stuff. The next one is the Ultimates Volume 1 and 2. I may get Ultimates 2. if I find it in trade or in hardcover or whatever like that. But for right now, I am satisfied with just the Ultimates, the first Ultimates. If you don't know what the Ultimates are, basically the Ultimates are HBO style Avengers set for the new millennium. Great read. Highly recommend you pick these trades up, or if you find them in hardcovers, pick those up as well. Yes, pick those up. Those are great, fantastic reads. You'll not be disappointed in the Ultimates. Just good stuff. They actually made Ultimate Avengers 1 and 2 based off this story, the animated direct to DVD movies, off the Ultimates storyline. And a lot of the movies that you see from the MCU are based off the Ultimate universes. Not even so much the MCU. It's also Amazing Spider-Man 1 and 2 were also based off the Ultimate Universe. So Ultimate Universe has a really big impact on movies. So if you're interested, pick those up. See what it's all about. All right, next up is Avengers Disassembled and New Avengers. Now, I want to talk about these two kind of together for a little bit, because the hardcovers that I have are actually new acquires right here. I originally had the trades of these. Basically, trades, when I say trades, are trade paperbacks. The ones that don't have the hardcover, they're soft. I picked up the hardcovers off of a friend of mine who had these. So I gave the 2 trade paperbacks from to my niece. Basically, when you find a hardcover, get one, because even if you already have the issues or have the trade, whatever like that, pick them up, because usually they have more info and more story than just a usual trade. With my only exception, what I would say is that when you don't get it is when you have the complete story anyway, and you don't need it as I would say the Infinity Gauntlet. You really don't need much more. But for these, this would be the only exception in my personal opinion. But these two, I found this was more worthwhile, so that's why I have these right here. Avengers Disassembled right here. If you are looking to read House of M, this is where you start right here. This is pretty much the beginning of House of M right here. This is where you want to pick up the story first in order for you to read House of M. Good read. This is where Brian Michael Bendis and David Finch started their run, a very legendary, fantastic run. Good stuff. Pick this up if you find it. Also, New Avengers, the same thing. They have an omnibus of this. I don't know if I'll be able to pick that up or not. But if I do, I'll let you know.